Good morning. We're at the Eckville shelter. There's a cold night. We got some breakfast going on, but this time around, using a different coffee option. It's a drip style on my Sea to Summit cup. And it looks like it barely fits it, but it's on there. Panda ordered a variety pack where it came 2 of like each flavor, and there's like 6 different flavors. So we'll see how it goes. So leaving the Eckville shelter. Now that sound is, it is the first day of rifle season for deer in Pennsylvania. But there's a little bit of a road walk. The shelter is right down where that black car is parked. So it's not very far off the trail, because right here is whenever we join back up with it. So it is not a far detour, which is nice. It is about, it's about mid-20s out right now. It's only a little bit after 7 a.m. So we're getting a really good start. The caretaker at the shelter was awesome. They had already turned off the spigot for winter, which I wasn't sure if that was going to be a thing, if they'd turn that off or leave it on. But he was awesome. He gave us water, like bottles of water, so we didn't have to worry about filtering. He just gave us like big, I think they're like gallon jugs. So he gave us one last night. He had one out there for us this morning. And I am bad with names, so I don't remember his name, but good dude. Shadow's still in like experimental phase with winter camping, so this is only his second trip out. Him and Panda stayed in the shelter, and they said it was pretty nice. The thin pads that are on the bunks were enough to keep them warm in the winter, which was awesome. Because if you look at them, they don't exactly look like they'd be very well insulating. Kurt and I stayed in the hammocks. I layered a 20 and a 30 for my underquilts and had my 0 degree top quilt. And I was almost a little too warm last night. But I think the last thing about this shelter area is it is not hammock friendly. The tent area, you could squeeze in 3 hammocks. You might be able to like work in a 4th. So yeah, if you plan on staying here, I'd recommend intending to sleep in the shelter or bring a tent. We made the decision that we're gonna actually shorten this by a day. Kurt checked the weather. It looks like tomorrow there's a high possibility of rain moving in. And when it comes to winter camping, I would rather deal with like snow instead of rain, because rain just makes it extra miserable. And if you have the choice to be in the rain, I choose not to be in the rain. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the pinnacle and pulpit section and shorten the remainder of the hike down to roughly 9 miles. And that'll finish it off. So the 3 of us, that'll complete stuff for us. Shadow will only be missing over to pinnacle and pulpit, but that's super easy to clean up in a day hike. So that'll be the plan.
There's water coming under the trail. So got water coming. Like, yeah, we'll turn around here. So I walked a little bit further. Like, I don't see the water down pretty far.
This is an awesome little spot. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Panda just pointed out over there, there's some other campers set up. There's no way I would have been able to hike more yesterday, but to do a hike in this area, that's not a bad spot to plan the camp. We're like, what, about a mile from the shelter? Oh, so this is about 2 miles up from where the shelter area is. Yeah, that's a, oh yeah, and the spot those people have over there is pretty nice. We've seen a bunch of backpackers out this weekend, so we're still climbing up to the ridge though, but we're on this old service road, and it's not a bad walk. All right, so this is an emergency helicopter pad. Going this way takes you to Pinnacle, Pulpit, but we are gonna cut down this trail and go down by the reservoir. So that'll bring you down through here. So this is coming down that old Jeep road. This is the go-to trail for making the Pinnacle and Pulpit loop trail. But this stream flows good year-round. So where we had planned to camp at the shelter is down at the bottom, and it's not too far from where the parking lot access is. So if you ever do this as like an overnighter or any kind of camping down in this area in the winter, water in this side is not that much of a problem. Oh, but it is worth noting at the bottom here is Reservoir Road. You can't park there overnight unless you pre-arrange it. And there's a sign in the parking lot with a phone number and everything that you need to call. And this is the aforementioned reservoir. Well, we just finished a early lunch, or for me it was like a second breakfast. I had what was supposed to be breakfast tomorrow, because it's a little bit after 11 now as we're getting ready to start back out. But when we get to Port Clinton, we're gonna have food at the Port Clinton Hotel. But that way is the way you go up to Pinnacle. We're gonna go up this way and make a left and keep going over to Port Clinton. We have a little over 5 miles left to go, which isn't too terrible. Let's see what it says over here. Well, it's almost 6 miles. So we have 5.9. So we now this 9.3, we did not do all of that because we cut out Pinnacle and Pulpit. So that is greatly reduced mileage from the detour we took down. So I think it was like 5 miles or something like that. I don't know. We'll be ending with right around 10, 11 miles. But I'm gonna get going and finish out our day. Ah, the sounds of fall hiking. We are still making our way down to Port Clinton, and this is a really cool part of the ridge. It's really thin. It drops off right there, starts to drop off there. I don't know, it's maybe like 30 feet wide, but this top part is less than that. Yeah, this is, and we just went through a little bit of a rocky section, so this is like a nice little break for our feet. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I always like when a ridge walk gets like this, where it gets really narrow and oh, I'm sorry. Good. Yeah, a ridge walk like this is always nice when it gets like really narrow and you can watch both sides just fall away. Very cool.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't trying to concentrate. I know where my phone.
Going to be the end of the hike. It's going to be a little bit noisier when we get up to the parking lot, so I figured close out the video now. But that's our 3-day turned into 2-night hike. Again, with the chance of rain tomorrow, and every time it changes, it's earlier and earlier. Rain in the winter is something I don't like to mess with if I don't have to. Snow, I love it when it snows on a winter hike. But yeah, rain, I'm okay with skipping tomorrow. And to get Shadow filled into that gap, we'll just take him on a day hike and do Pinnacle. So, not sure how many miles this total thing is going to be, but that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next one.